We have all encountered the person who speaks about the future with total certainty, the serial visionary. They imagine a different life and describe it with such clarity that the path to success seems inevitable. They hold an intricate mental map of their future wealth and status, and they genuinely believe they are capable of reaching it. Yet the data of their daily life remains static. Nothing actually changes. While onlookers often label this behavior as laziness, modern psychology identifies a more complex internal process at work. Chronic inaction functions as a biological defense mechanism. The brain uses internal barriers to prevent risks that might disrupt its current state. The nervous system triggers these barriers to preserve comfort, protecting the person's identity from the volatility of change. In this context, the brain interprets the pursuit of a massive goal as a disruption to a stable system. It prioritizes the safety of the status quo over the potential rewards of a different life. The first barrier is the counterfeit reward. The human brain often fails to differentiate between the vivid visualization of a goal and the physical execution of it. When we talk about our dreams, the brain releases dopamine, the reward for actual achievement. As imagined success spikes, the biological urgency to act plummets to zero. The brain feels satiated by the thought alone, leaving no chemical incentive to begin the work. This results in a preference for potential over effort. Staying in the frictionless planning phase provides a consistent reward, entirely without the friction and discomfort of reality. Because the brain has already received its hit of satisfaction from the imagination, the actual work feels redundant. The biological drive to pursue the goal has been exhausted before the first step is even taken. The second layer is the ego shield. Constant planning often serves as a tactical retreat from the possibility of failure. A dream remains perfect as long as it is never tested. By staying in the planning phase, the individual protects their ego from the harsh data of real-world results. This leads to identity misalignment. The brain resists actions that contradict our self-image. Like magnetic poles, current identity and required action violently repel one another. The brain creates friction against high discipline, pushing the action away to keep the identity safe. Real progress demands that we abandon our current self-conception and adopt a new, unfamiliar identity. Inaction ensures that the dreamer never has to confront their limitations. It allows them to maintain a high opinion of their potential without ever risking a collision with reality. The third tactic is the wait for readiness. The brain uses the absence of a specific feeling to justify a delay. This delay is fueled by overthinking. The mind simulates every possible failure and every minor detail. These simulations are cognitively expensive. Analyzing a task for hours consumes the same mental energy required to actually perform it. Eventually, the dreamer finds a moment to act, but their cognitive reserves are already empty. They mistake this genuine mental exhaustion for a sign that they aren't ready to start, further validating the cycle of delay. The brain has successfully used fatigue to defend the status quo, creating a self-manufactured reason to remain exactly where it is. Effectively, the brain views your largest ambitions as a threat to its established stability and energy reserves. To bypass this, we have to look at the chronological sequence of achievement. Most people wait for motivation to trigger readiness, which they believe leads to action. This sequence is backward. Psychology shows that waiting for the feeling of readiness is a trap. The brain will rarely offer that feeling for an action it perceives as a disruption. Readiness is a byproduct of movement. As this new loop shows, action occurs first. The act of starting creates the motivation, which then produces the feeling of readiness. Real progress is generally repetitive, slow, and occurs in the absence of initial excitement. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is the willingness to initiate action despite this biological resistance. Success belongs to those who act before their mind gives them permission.